Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the MacMan, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another awesome episode of Bullish and Beyond, where we are bullish about all things stock, crypto, and life. And things are roaring today. We got JT's Crypto Den is green. I'm always green over here because I'm a lifelong bullish person. But wow, the market's hitting all-time highs yesterday. Things are soaring, especially for my favorite rocket stock, RocketLab. They are crushing it. I'm telling so many people to get into it. I wish they would listen more often. And it's just advice, do your own research. I even met a company yesterday at a conference, and their name was Rocket Man, and they've never even heard of RocketLab, and they don't even want to invest in it. And I showed it to them.
That's crazy.
They said they don't want to be left holding the bag. I said this is another 10x opportunity. If people are listening, yes, it is on a crazy run, but it has 10x more to go in the next 5 to 10 years. So get on board for the ride.
It could be more in that time frame. I mean,
I agree. I'm trying to be conservative, JT.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. My bad. I know you're a roaring fire. I don't want to put gas on it. But I mean, space is going to be a incredible vector, like an amazing industry. There's so much value just floating around in our solar system.
It's technically infinite.
One comet is our entire, could be our entire value.
They talk about capturing some rock out of space that holds more precious metals than 100 times what the value of everything on Earth is. I mean, you obviously can't just go sell it.
10 decillion. That's 33 zeros.
And that's just one that we saw. It's not.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's crazy. But the biggest thing that RocketLab is doing is, this company they're just launching for, they have some special thing that maps to Earth and stuff like that. So lots of companies out there doing some new satellite imagery and whatnot. And the other thing is all these satellites that are helping do communications. So another one that I want to talk about, it's not RocketLab. They're called AST Space Mobile, and they are growing like crazy. And they're in the news a lot more recently because they just inked a deal with Verizon, so that Verizon customers will be able to piggyback on their satellite communication network. And it's different than just having the free satellite availability kind of SOS mode if you lose your signal. This is like a true satellite network that you can just access at any time. It's not going to change, how your 5G is. It's just there. Really crazy.
Wow. So kind of like Starlink in a way.
Exactly. The number one competitor is Starlink, and that is the major downside and barrier that I see. Starlink has insane deep pockets. It's part of SpaceX, which, if people don't know, is worth about $500 billion now.
Crazy.
Absolutely crazy. They're the number one launch company in the world. I mean, they're doing things that NASA and Boeing and no one else can do. So I would not want to bet against Starlink. That would be the main barrier I see for this. But at the same time, the hype train, everything else, I mean, these stocks can just run.
It doesn't have to be a winner's most race. Oftentimes you'll see the markets are so large, and we just described how big space is, and telecommunication networks, there's billions of users. In these large markets, you can find that there's enough room for 1, 2, maybe 3.
I agree with that.
You
got the Verizon and AT&T on the ground. So it's if AST, is able to get tons of carriers and lots of global infrastructure set up, they could be the winner. But yeah, I think there's certainly potential for both there. So I do like that aspect.
Yeah. Pepsi and Coke, right? Nike, Adidas, Reebok, consumer wear's $1 trillion, right? Space is more than that, theoretically. Telecommunications is probably around there. There's 10 different oil companies that are massive, right? Banking, tons of instances where, you're going to find the big leaders, and there's different strategies.
Yeah.
Right? Like some companies are the loss leaders. So they're like, hey, are the cost leaders. I want to be the cheapest ever. You know, it's not that Walmart is
Costco,
taken out
dollar
of
hot dogs,
business.
you know.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. Or Dollar General. They're not taking out Walmart, but they have a niche, right?
Yep.
Um, you know, so people find their way.
My kids
It's
love going to
totally
the dollar
cool.
store. You give them $5 and they can just go get multiple things. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there it has its place, you know, and
Yeah.
or if you're about to like get a bunch of disposable stuff, that place is great. You can get cutlery, plates, like $5, get enough for 100 people. Like it's pretty cool. You know, it has its place. That's super interesting. In my world, something huge happened with one of my favorite
Oh,
names,
what's we
Chainlink,
were talking
man.
about Chainlink. I finally got a little bit. So what's going on in the Chainlink network?
So, in a few episodes, we've talked about how Chainlink is the intermediary or right in the center of off chain and on chain data, right? You can't get data that is built in a server written in, I don't know, XML or VSAM file, all this stuff. None of that means anything to crypto. I mean, it's its own, stack. It doesn't understand. It's almost like trying
Right.
to speak Russian to an English person. And Chainlink is basically sitting in the middle of the Swift system now. So all of the metadata that Swift has for a payment, which banks it routed through, which account numbers, the DTCC regulations, especially for cross-border payments. That's Swift's thing. There's a lot of metadata there. If
Yeah, so
I were to
people know
wire
Swift,
money,
Swift is doing all the international wires. That's how it all works.
correct, yeah. So if I'm trying to send money to Sierra Leone in Africa, it's probably going to hit London first, and then it might stop again, and then eventually end up in Africa because not all banks have relationships with other banks and
Yeah.
networks, and Swift is kind of the intermediary for all this cross border stuff. And
Seems very inefficient. There's got to be a better way.
there it is.
Enter
It is a myth.
blockchain and Chainlink.
That's right. That's right. Specifically XRP. XRP is the blockchain for central banks. Central banks are the customers of Swift for the most part. And that's all great, but just moving the actual fiat to the XRP token, which provides liquidity. So if I wanted to send $1 billion to Africa and I
Uh-huh.
wanted to buy oil, it will turn into $1 billion worth of XRP, go to the XRP wallet, then turn into $1 billion worth of that currency inside of 3 or 5 seconds. But
Oh,
just because,
wow.
yeah, it's incredible. But just
That's
because that
insane.
it's crazy. Just because that value moved, right? It doesn't mean that all of that data moved with it. Because Swift still has all of that data. Chainlink
Okay.
is going to help them
It's the record
associate all of
keeper.
that metadata. Yeah, it's just going to move that data with the money. And Chainlink works with 11 blockchains right now. They're expanding their scope, but XLM and XRP are two of them. And
With this
this
big deal, I'm surprised that we're not seeing a better movement in XRP then.
that's called alpha, right? Like knowing as a long-term investor, alpha is knowledge versus perception. If you know something and the market doesn't perceive it as valuable or doesn't know it, you
Not
got a little bit of
yet.
alpha there. Right. I saw this on a LinkedIn post that only had 20,000 views from Chainlink. I mean, people aren't following Chainlink like they follow
I
Microsoft,
mean,
right?
I haven't heard about it. I see all my news and high tech stocks. I don't see the Chainlink news.
But I mean, also, how do you put what I just said into a headline?
That's
It's for the
tough.
nerds. It's for the nerds. Like, it's what
Hopefully
it is.
people, listen. So yeah, so we're gonna have Chainlink helping record all the data, and then XRP is gonna be used to transfer the monetary value. So those two seem like they're, very high use cases. People out there that are, haters on these different, altcoins and stuff, they're not understanding the potential to actually use them. And we're at the infancy. I mean, I'm at the infancy of just learning about this stuff, but I mean, it's like, fast forward 5, 10 years from now, it's like maybe all money moves that way.
Yeah, anything of value will eventually be online. Like in the biggest paradigm
If
shift
I
that
if I wire someone money, it takes like a day to get there versus
right.
you're talking five
Well,
seconds.
So here's the interesting thing. When I say this to people, they usually a little switch flips. The reason why it takes that long is because you don't trust the counterparties, and all of that information is not online, right? You have to log in to an account, and all of that information is secured on a server. It's not public. It's not, I mean, would you put your bank information on the internet? No,
No, no,
right?
no.
Right. But you can put your wallet on the internet. Doesn't matter. No one
Yeah.
can do anything to it. It's just an address, like your physical address. Like that's everywhere, right? Data brokers, they mail you stuff all the time. So, the difference is we blockchain allows us to put our financial, everything in finance online, which then opens it up to all of these kinds of developments. And it's faster and it's cheaper. You get all the benefits of the internet when you can do this. And
Speaking of cheaper, I do
like,
kind of wonder about the cost. I mean, the international wire cost me $25 or $30 for my bank, something like that. Who actually makes money on this transfer, and what would it be expected to cost?
I don't know what Swift does. I don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
Um, but what I can say is the XRP infrastructure will charge probably for a billion, I would say 20 to 30 cents with a 5 second finality. And then Chainlink would probably charge for every data call. Every Oracle is different pricing data. So that's kind of in
Okay.
between. That's between Chainlink and Swift, what they're willing to pay for all the processing of the data. But you could expect, probably less than $1 per
Oh,
transaction. So
wow. That's
for a
crazy.
billion,
So
you might
the
get about
sender would just
50.
pay for it in Chainlink gas fee.
There you go. Swift is going to buy a lot of Link and then pay for the data transfer.
Okay.
And that's
Cool.
what everyone's doing. Like our government is buying Link because they want to put the labor and statistics data onto Ethereum so people can build with it,
Yeah.
use it for apps and things, and they can make some money too. The government can make money off of
I
it.
love the idea of investing in these. I mean, the fact that the government's invested and it hasn't actually affected the price that much makes me think that, there's something a lot more to here to come.
To be honest, like it's kind of up. Like I bought it at $4. It's at 23.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Well, I'm a
I
newbie.
mean,
I just got in.
yeah, yeah. It's halfway from its all-time high, right? It topped out in the 50s. So it has room, established room, and we're not even in price discovery mode for all of these mid-cap alts and large cap alts. I
Yeah.
mean, most of the stuff I invest in is in the top 50. So it's mid-cap to large cap alts that have years in the market, actual millions of users in
They're
this room.
real. They're not the ones that are going to
They're
go to
real.
zero like some of the other meme coins out there.
Right. They're more volatile because people are
Yeah.
uncertain, but at the end of the day, like they are the best. There's not many people in this race. Like not many people are focusing on oracles, right? There's Pyth, there's Chainlink, API 3, there's like four or five people, and Chainlink is ahead in billions, not like millions. They're ahead significantly.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and then I invest in the second best competitor, which is Pyth, in my opinion. They basically focus on all the other chains Chainlink isn't on.
So you got your bases covered.
So yeah, they just want to be first to market on all these different networks, because Chainlink had a 5 year head start and they're faster and cheaper than
That's
Chainlink.
cool.
So yeah, maybe they end up winning. They own Solana, they own Cosmos and Polkadot. There's a few
Okay.
networks where Chainlink struggled, but those networks are like, mm,
I like
you know,
Solana. I keep buying a couple
yeah.
more Solana coins.
I mean, they're really doing some amazing things. Kyle Samani, he's one of the fund managers of Multicoin, founder of Multicoin. They're one of the biggest backers of Solana since the beginning days, and he is now launching a crypto treasury company. I forget the
Okay.
name of it, but he's going to try to push Solana to $1,000 ASAP. So
I'm
that's his
ready. Let's
job.
go. Hey,
Yeah,
speaking of all-time highs, a couple big ones this week. We have Bitcoin and Nvidia
that's right.
both hitting all-time high, baby.
The biggest ones
Very
too.
exciting. The biggest in the world on crypto and equities. That
That's right.
is crazy. The reason you're going to tell everyone about why Bitcoin's hitting the high, but I'll tell everyone about Nvidia.
Let's
So
hear it.
Nvidia just, I mean, there's so much going on in the AI space, but particularly right now, TSM, the company that actually makes all the chips that Nvidia has, they actually put out monthly numbers of their sales, and last
Oh,
month's
wow.
sales were up 30%. Oddly
Yep.
enough, TSM goes down on 30% growth, but Nvidia goes up because the headline that most of the sales were literally driven by the AI chips, and that's almost all Nvidia.
Yeah.
So the money is flowing out of Nvidia. It is a supply, not demand problem. They cannot make them fast enough. It's
That's right.
insane. The margins are insane. I cannot imagine collecting near 80% margins. I mean, it is wild, and I expect it to continue. There are other horses in the race. I mean, you're talking about the duopoly of the best people, best companies.
Yeah.
AMD's been in the news a lot the last week. They got a big deal with OpenAI. Pretty crazy, interesting way it worked out. So OpenAI is going to be buying AMD chips, but in
Yeah.
exchange, they get 10 up to 10% of AMD stock. They're
Wow.
just trading money. And it's all based
Hmm.
upon the build out infrastructure. They're getting, 6 gigawatts they're trying to put online of GPUs. So massive, massive scale over the next few years. And I think
I
OpenAI is
think
hedging their bets.
AMD's
They're doing everything.
I think AMD is a great buy. It's much smaller than Nvidia, and we texted about this, and we haven't brought it to the podcast, but in technology, what you're going to have, and we see it all over the place with Dell versus Intel versus Oracle versus Nvidia. They all make CPUs, GPUs. They all make these components, but the the demand of the hardware, I guess the tasks the hardware is asked to do changes over time, especially something that was incredibly expensive and complex that needed a massive GPU can now be ran on a tiny, 32-bit CPU,
Yep.
which AMD can make, or some of these less advanced, right?
Even
So
Intel.
as Nvidia is pushing the ceiling higher, all of these tasks get easier, they get compressed. So then,
Yep.
inferior or just less capable hardware can do what used to be really complex tasks. So you're going to see the stack of this hardware get filled out. And as NVIDIA progresses, I feel like the market for the second and third tier hardware is going to expand. We've seen it
It makes
before. The
sense, and I
playbook.
agree with you, but I want to caution people about investing in AMD right now, particularly
Okay.
because it soared. I mean, it went up 40%.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Timing rough. Yeah. Yeah.
I, you know,
But
I
what's its
feel
market
like,
cap?
I mean, it's nowhere close to Nvidia, and its PE is completely out of whack compared to even
Oh, okay.
Nvidia's. So
Okay.
that is why I do want to caution.
It's
I mean, the P is at
overvalued.
140 and the market cap is only 380 billion. So, it's 10% the size of
Wow.
Nvidia. Um,
I didn't
Nvidia's
expect them to be
Nvidia's
at
P is
300 billion.
55, and it's like, and AMD might be able to grow faster in some spaces, but they haven't proven out their newest technology. So they are launching a whole new chipset that OpenAI is going to be getting, but it's unproven. Kind of versus the Nvidia GPUs are proven, in
Yeah,
my opinion, at scale. So remains to be
that
seen
makes
if they can
sense.
execute at scale at that point.
That's an excellent example of why fundamentals matter. You could have a thesis. That's my thesis. I just stated it.
The
But then when you
thesis is
open up
great.
the hood, yeah, when you open up the hood, a 140 PE and a 400 billion, market cap, that's a much higher market cap than I expected. And the PE is wonker. I mean, that's crazy. 140 is crazy. It's even though that what the average is 115 right now. Like if you go to the Buffett indicator, 120. Like
What?
so, yeah, this is the most
No way.
overvalued
And that's
equities
not an
have
S&P
been.
500.
No,
AI?
just equity average, like for the weight of equities and allocations, the whole weight. right?
Okay.
He does the accumulative PE relative to, like, okay, let's say there's 100 trillion in fours in Nvidia. It's trading at a 55. That's 4%. Uh, weight in the average. Does that make sense? So
Okay.
if you go through and
So
weight
larger
all the
companies get weighted.
PEs, yeah, basically the amount of capital from the total capital gives them the weight of the
Okay.
calculation.
Like
In
Tesla's
that
PE is
calculation,
crazy right now, for example. I mean, people are
right?
banking on future earnings coming with autonomous vehicles.
Right. So like if and it's a big name, right? Trillions. So like
Yes.
it would have a higher weight than like let's call it a 20 PE at
So
a
those
4
really
billion
matter.
market cap. It
Yeah,
does
because
matter. So
Tesla's
when
worth like 1.4 trillion or something like that.
right. So what he's done is he's went through and averaged it out with this calculation and he has an indicator, it's called the Buffett indicator. He then takes that over GDP growth and he gets a number and that determines roughly how overvalued the market is and it determines also his cash value, like how much cash he
Okay.
has.
I mean, the
It is the
market,
highest it's ever
frankly, is
been.
frothy. I mean, it is hot.
Yeah, yeah,
The difference compared to some of the past blow off tops is that I think there's really the technologies is different now. It's not like a
yeah.
made believe .com bubble. The AI hasn't necessarily proven itself out to a profitability standpoint yet, but we're just in the building stage. So
That's right.
stay tuned. There's so much
Stay
AI
tuned.
coming. I mean, like there's
There
so
is.
much room for AI data centers. This other one I'll throw out there, IREN. It's been
Yep.
so hot lately because they're an AI data center play with Bitcoin and some other stuff like that too. And if you compare it to like a CoreWeave, they're much smaller, but they are getting so much attention. So companies like that are going to go nuts, but the future can be insane. I mean, same with that Space Mobile company. I mean, we're not
Yeah.
using satellite phone connectivity, daily now, but in 5 years maybe we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's all exciting things. I'm excited that we're this age in this time with this knowledge able to make these decisions
I
because
am
it's
very
way.
bullish on life right now in this time period. I think people need to get on board. We are in the golden ages of technology. What's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be absolutely mind blowing, and we don't even know what's going to happen. Cannot
But
wait
we
to
will
see
be
it.
covering it
We will be
here.
covering it. Yes, talking about all the things growing inside AI, equities, crypto. Can't wait. So stay tuned for more action on Bullish and Beyond. Keep it green. Stay bullish, everyone.
Till next time. See ya.
Bulls. That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps and neither should your ambitions. Whether it's stocks, crypto, or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay bullish, and keep charging forward. Keep your energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets, or to make any financial decisions.